So for those of you who are watching the recording, you've just missed probably the greatest non-duality introduction that's ever been spoken, and it's been lost. Like the rest of time and the past, there is no recording. But you must have favorite recordings when you hear words, or or just written words, and you kind of treat it reverentially. I don't know who you're still revering. Probably a bit of Nisargadatta, on his 56th cigarette of the day, shouting and telling people to get out of his smoke-filled den that he used to do his talks in. Or maybe, I don't know, or Tony or Ramana. I don't know who you still revere. What I want to say is, don't revere any words. I mean, you can love human beings. I'm letting you do that, but do not be reverential about any words. There is nothing in any of the words, no matter what you think. You just like them. It's just like music. There isn't great music. There's just music you love to listen to and makes you feel good. Isn't that wonderful? But I mean, that probably was a wonderful introduction, but I couldn't give a shit that no one's going to ever hear it, because it won't make any difference. Nothing makes any difference. And nothing makes any difference might be felt as unconditional love as well. That you've been living in the fantasy of, I just need that secret combination of the planets to align, where there's the perfect words with the perfect energy, with the perfect company. And of course, this is the only perfection, regardless of how imperfect it appears. Because of course, this isn't perfect or imperfect, it's as it is. And really, all as it is means is how the fuck you are experiencing it. Or you're not experiencing it, but how it's being seen, felt. And that's unique. There isn't a way to see this. There isn't a way of being. It's funny we think this with human beings, that, oh, they've got the way of being. They've got it right. But if only I could be like them. It's as ridiculous as the oak tree next to the horse chestnut. And he goes, the oak tree looks over and goes, fucking conkers. Why haven't I got conkers? I've got these rubbish acorns. Tiny little acorns. Look at the size of his conkers, and they're spiky. Yeah, so if you listen to this as a recording, it's going to be half the time of a usual recording. And I've already done my diatribe that I was going to give at the Rose and Crown pub after the meeting. And like on my website, I have a disclaimer, which is all about, if you are, there's no therapeutic value in any of this. See a doctor, you idiot. I was going to do a disclaimer at the pub, like, if this offends you in any way, that you are non-existent, you don't have the right to punch me in the face or strangle me.
And you still have to pick up the tab.
if anyone's got anything they'd like me to, address a topic or a question, by all means, put
Hi,
your
Tim.
hand up and ask.
Yeah. The greatest paradox I can think of at the moment is that nothing stays the same and nothing changes. Nothing gets better, nothing gets worse, but nothing stays the same. So everything that comes along,
No.
that's it. That's it. You know. You thought you knew what it was.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. The next moment, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. That's it without exception.
Yeah. You can't pin it down. That's why therapy never works, because nothing, nothing changes, nothing stays the same. But whatever changes, changes. It's just what it is.
Oh yeah. And I mean,
Oh,
I can't say therapy doesn't work, because for me it often does seem to work, because I feel better, and I've only gone to therapy to feel better about myself, and the
right.
therapist
Ben,
says some really nice things about me, like I'm not actually the piece of shit that I feel I am, and she says I'm quite
yeah,
wonderful. So
yeah.
unsurprisingly, I come away feeling much better.
Band-aids work, you know. Crutches work, you know.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good to recognize that whatever's happening, that's it. And even therapy comes under that same. It's all love.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all love, regardless of how loving it appears. Yeah. I mean, maybe that's the biggest paradox of all, David,
Yeah.
because most people don't like the sound of "it's all love." That just sounds outrageous.
Yeah. Well, again, good to be with you.
Because really, oh, it's lovely to see you, David. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I mean, I always want to say it's things are always changing. I mean, it's by things, I mean appearance. So the appearance is always changing. What appears to be is always changing. What doesn't change is what we can't speak about. The unchanging is the great mystery, and that's what all spiritual traditions have always been trying to get a handle on. And maybe the difference between this and most traditions is saying that there isn't a handle to get on, because the only way I can speak about what doesn't change is to say it's nothing. So it's nothing that remains the same.
Yep.
Everything changes. Nothing doesn't change, because there isn't anything to change about nothing. And by not is that sounds like I'm making nothing into something, but what I mean by nothing is I mean the things that seem to change are nothing,
Yeah.
seeming to change. So it's not. Somebody said to me the other day, well, all you've done is you've made nothing into the source. So rather than saying God or Brahman or consciousness or awareness, you just said, you say nothing, and nothing is a source. I went, and that's not it. I'm not saying nothing is a source. I'm saying everything is nothing. It doesn't come from nothing and return to. So you hear that's commonly spoken about. So everything appears, lives. I mean, it's commonly what you hear at a funeral. We came into the world as nothing and we leave as nothing. What I'm saying is you're here as nothing.
Yeah.
There's only nothing already. And of course, there's nothing to fear about death if this is fully dead as well as being fully alive. So
Yep.
this complete fullness of being in all its incredible, wondrous glory is utterly empty.
Yep.
As well as being completely full.
Yep.
So there, again, just like you said, David, that's the great paradox. And this isn't a resolution. The other thing is, I think I was always looking to resolve this. So this is a problem that needs resolution. I need to know where I can land, and there isn't anywhere to land.
Yeah.
Because as you said, David, the ground is what is always shifting. The ground is groundless, is constantly shifting. You don't get to stand and get in a vantage point where you can see the truth and know what it is. That's not what we're speaking about.
Yeah.
There is no point to stand and view this. There is no one viewing this. Just the glorious view, you could say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thanks, David.
Yep.
I had a lovely meeting at here, wherever here is, in deepest, darkest Cambridgeshire on Saturday. And I've just put the next meeting is on the 22nd of March. You know, so I'm telling you so you can book flights. You can get here on the train. I mean, it is remote. I mean, not American style remote, English style remote, 7 miles from the town. That's remote in England, but but it has got a station, so you can get here on a train from London, no trouble. Just plug in it a bit. And there's still a few spaces for Brighton. That's at the end of April. I can't help but be cynical because I want to say, and of course you really need, it's no good to come into Zoom meetings because you don't get the full energetic transmission. And I just can't resist, I can't resist saying it because I heard that quite a lot. But what I will say, and I just can't help but be a piss taker. But there's no more bullshit than energetic transmission. Of course, I can say it's all energy, but I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. All I would say is it's a bit like recorded music and live music. I love a crap live band at the pub. I don't really mind that they're not very good because there's the energy of the aliveness. So that's a bit like that with non-duality speakers. It doesn't matter how crap the speaker is. I haven't got a clue what I'm talking about. But that's still a very popular myth, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
That you need to be in the room. You need to be in the room, and you need to be with some kind of whoever you've decided is some kind of master of whatever this is, of life.
Oh shit. Yeah.
And there is, I mean, I would love to dispel all of those myths, because people love to tell me, well, when I was with such and such, there was this incredible. Yeah, well, there was when I went to see, I don't know, well, who did I go and see? When I went to see the Stranglers in 1978. There was an incredible energy, because punk music had an incredible energy. So I'm not saying you couldn't have wonderful experiences, but it's the stories we tell about those that make them significant.
Yep.
And nothing is of any more significance than anything else. I mean, this does. There's still preference. I mean, I prefer pleasant than unpleasant, of course. But once there's no higher or lower, this really annihilates any idea of that. All ideas of that are just burnt to ashes.
Yeah.
Hi, Raja.
Hi, hi, Tim. Hi, everyone. Like I've been reading like Robert Monroe.
Unmute
Right?
yourself.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Don't think you've got. Oh, there you are. Yeah. Hello.
Yeah, I've been reading not reading, actually listening to this guy on YouTube talking about astral traveling. And yeah, I want to know like what do you think about it?
Razia, I think it's quite amusing that you. Razia, I'm amused that you're actually bothering to ask me what I think of astral travel, because I think you know the answer to that. The answer is, I mean, the human, I would say the mind is an amazing thing. Yes, there we go. Can go all kinds of places. I probably stopped astral traveling as Superman when I was about 10 or 11, I suppose. But I reckon when I was 8 or 9, I did a lot of flying to other planets and solar systems.
Yeah, I
Well,
also like when I was young, I did
I just think
experience.
I think the human imagination and fantasy is an amazing thing. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's all in our minds, right? Basically, that's it. But there's a whole lot of people that believe in that.
Oh no, there's a whole lot of people. Have you noticed how many people believe that Jesus rose from the dead?
Oh, I thought he did.
You know, I mean, that's pretty incredible, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because none of us have seen anyone rise from the dead.
Yeah.
But there's about, I can't remember about 3 billion human beings believe that Jesus physically rose from the dead.
Yeah. I suppose so. That's also one of the things that we need to be aware of, like buying into these stories.
Yeah. Well, and of course, astral travel. I mean, how wonderful. The reason I said about my Superman is because we must have nearly all of us had flying dreams as children when we felt small and restricted, and we wanted to escape. We wanted to be. I mean, it's just this longing for freedom, and there's no greater freedom than flying. So flying on Earth is one thing, but flying astrally, yeah, it's got massive appeal, hasn't it?
Yeah, but then I mean, you also have like people who have similar experiences.
Yeah.
Like a shared experience. How can, like, one person sees a demon, and then this other person reporting the same kind of demon? I don't know. Is it because it's like somewhere in our collective unconscious?
The thing is, I would have been interested. In the past, I would have been quite interested in that sort of stuff. I will say it's non-duality has destroyed all interest in anything supernatural, because now all I do is, if there's no supernatural as opposed to natural. There's only natural. Everything is natural. So people imagining astral travel, believing it to be real and true, that's just as natural as anything else. I don't see anything, because there's just this, and this can appear any way at all. So I'm not even saying that astral travel, I don't see it as anything special. And really what all self is doing, and especially people like astral travelers, you know, they might feel they're pretty insignificant apart from the astral travel, which makes them unbelievably special. And who doesn't want to be unbelievably special?
So in this day and age, if we look at something like that, we could quite easily say that that is not normal, abnormal behavior. But I mean, we don't classify them as abnormal. Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's abnormal. The thing again, there is no normal, so there's no abnormal.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Every human being is being the human being that is being.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that people can accept that you can astral travel, and then would say someone has psychosis or schizophrenia or some other kind of a thing wrong with them. But they would see other things as being normal. You know what I mean? But people are like labeled and said, okay, you need help.
I mean, I should quote my sister-in-law when you're speaking about normal, because she came out with a brilliant line not so long ago. We were talking about, she said something about someone, they go, well, he's not normal. And I go, so I say to her, so what's normal then? She goes, I'm the most normal person I know.
Yeah, well, I mean.
Well, there you go. There's self screaming. Why are those weirdos not like me? Because what benchmark do we have for normal? The only benchmark we have is ourselves. That's what self, and what this does, of course, without any self.
There is a benchmark. Pardon? In the sense that how are we functioning? The person that functions most, I don't know what the word is, effectively or something, in this kind of dream state is considered normal.
As well as I do, two people will totally disagree. No, there's no normal. You're just, all that happens is the non-duality normal folk, that's us weirdos here, we get together and we go, oh, we're normal. And everyone else says, you're fucking nuts. And the astral travelers, they all group together and they go, well, you astral travel just like me, so we're normal. And then all the weirdos are the rest of humanity who haven't got this incredible gift that we've got. And that's normal only means like me.
Yeah. All right.
Of course, I can make myself very abnormal, and that's what's normal as well. Self can do that. You know, so I'm the most fucked up. Self is quite adept at doing that as well.
Yeah, you know, where you make yourself appear normal will be like in a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course, in order to normalize how I am, I get with others who will agree with me. That's all.
Okay. No, I mean, like
But-
how people say this is normal, and the rest of the people will accept that as being the norm. Okay, all of us will have a particular day in which our bodies will be lifted into heaven or whatever, and that's the norm, you know? So, yeah, so it's defined. So basically what you're saying, it's who defines it. Or, yeah, and how they
Well,
see it.
yeah. Yeah. And of course, different groups define normal completely differently.
Yeah. So if we take that back now to therapy, and people saying that like therapy is good, right? I'm supposed to be like something that's acceptable to look to ask for help. If you are not functioning, if this individual character is not functioning in the society, and okay, like they have depression where they just want to sleep the whole day and they don't want to go out or whatever, you know, I mean, like the story is that there are people like that. So wouldn't you say that for them therapy could be the answer?
Well, no, it wouldn't be an answer, but I wouldn't tell anyone not to go.
Yeah.
Depends what the goal is. If they want to feel better, often just speaking to anyone makes you feel better. Depends who the listener is. A good listener. I trained as a person-centered therapist, and the whole premise of person-centered therapy is you don't need to see a therapist. You just need to have the listener has to present some core conditions that make you felt heard. So if self feels that they've been heard, that's therapeutic.
Yeah, I also found that empathetic
That's
listening
still,
was good.
that's still, there's no experts in, it's not about theory, it's about being an empathic listener, and some people are just gifted at that.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thank you.
No, I mean, I do have a disclaimer on all my websites and on any of my emails or anything, because this isn't therapeutic in the way that most people understand therapeutic, because this isn't about making you better at all. It's saying there's no you to be better or worse. Now, you might conclude that is therapeutic, but most people wouldn't. Most selves would disagree. And certainly a lot of psychologists and psychiatrists would definitely disagree. I'm pretty sure if I went to a psychiatrist and told them exactly how it was for me and really was completely honest, then I'd be diagnosed with some kind of disassociation, for sure. And then I'd try and explain to him, but there isn't anyone to disassociate from or be disassociated from. And then we could have quite a good chat, I guess, but maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah.
I did have my friend who is, I had, when this kind of happened, and they said, well, if you ever do feel that you need to get some psychiatric help, don't tell them about the no self thing.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rajia. Has anybody else got
you.
anything they want to share or ask about?
Tim?
Yeah.
Hi. I kind of wrote it
Who's
as a
that?
joke, but I wanna ask you. So you were saying there's no difference between my feelings and a toaster.
No, I didn't say there's no difference.
Okay.
I just said one isn't inside and the other outside. Of course, the experience would be experienced as different. Yeah. But I'm talking about location, really, when I say that. Did you hear it that I was saying that, you know, they're the same thing?
If everything is
Yeah, so
nothing.
what was your example?
The toaster and the feelings.
A feeling and the sofa.
A toaster.
Oh, toaster. Oh, toast. I love a bit of toast. No. Well, the toaster is experienced as a toaster, and the feeling is experienced as a feeling. Now, your sense of what a feeling feels like and what a toaster looks like and feels like when you use a toaster. I mean, that's all I'm saying is what self tends to do is the feelings are mine, the toaster's not mine. Well, I might own the toaster, but it's not part of me. It's not inside me, whereas the feeling is. That's what I meant. And what I'm suggesting is where the location of the toaster and the location of the feeling are not two. There you go. That's what I'm proposing that. But to me, they're completely separate because the feeling is inside me. It's part of me. That fucking toaster is just over there. It's about 1.2 meters away. And I can move towards it. There's a space between me and the toaster. What I'm suggesting is really isn't. Physically, relatively, there is. Absolutely, there isn't. You can't tell what appears inside and what appears outside. Appearance is not two. So you could say that they appear in the same place, but there isn't a place where they appear, so you can't say that. You could say they appear the same, which is what you said at the beginning. And really what the same would be is where they are. But they're not. Where they are is just made up. Again, that's just relativity. That's just relatively where they are. So relatively feelings felt in my stomach, and the toaster is seen to be over there. So it's the false duality of here and there. There is neither here nor there, and here is there, and there is here. I will say it just sounds pure Dr. Seuss bullshit. I know it is pure Dr. Seuss bullshit because I'm saying that, and when I'm saying it, I'm thinking that must sound, or that sounds like something radically different to how life was experienced for me, but it's not, because what I'm saying is this is already the case. So if you have a sense of the toaster isn't me, but the feelings are me, I'm saying that's completely illusory. And in the absence of the illusion, you wouldn't even notice. Because it might sound something really weird, like, oh, the toaster is suddenly inside of me, you know. I become the toaster. I am at one with the toaster. The toaster and I are not two. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. There is no I. There is experience of toaster. Toaster is being toaster. And being toaster and the sense of the feeling in my stomach, there's no separation between them until there's a thought that separates them. Conceptually, experientially, it's all happening. The happening is just happening, and it's not locatable. And yet, of course, you could still do the locating thing that all humans do. It's not like you lose all ability to be relative. It's just that kind of you just don't believe it anymore. For most human beings, relativity is reality, and that's what's real. And all that seems to happen is that the relative is relatively real, and the absolute is, you could say, absolutely unknowable, and that they're not two. So the realness and the unrealness, there's no knowing which is which. So rather than seeing the toaster as absolutely real, it's relatively real and absolutely not, because it's not a separate thing, separate from everything else. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Oh, I think I am, because you asked me, Darren.
Thank you.
Because I will say all the thingness stuff, all that sort of doesn't, that I never think about any of that, never comes up at all. I know in a lot of non-duality it seems like a big deal, and it's not a big deal at all. Whether things are things or not things, you know, whether there's thingness or no thingness, it just becomes so pointless, because there's absolutely no way of knowing whether things are things or not. So you couldn't give a shit. I mean, that they just become idle philosophical, you know, mental masturbation. And although I love speaking in paradoxical terms, I don't do much. I nearly said I don't do much masturbation. I don't do much mental masturbation. I just don't do a lot of non-dual thinking. That's what I used to do. That's what I used to do constantly for years. And that's really what we're speaking about, is the end of trying to work anything out. Because if it is doubtless that there's just this, then it's completely the end. It's a total full stop of any more questions. If this is unquestionable, which it is, unquestionably this, doubtlessly this, without any certainty of what this is, how this is, just this is doubtless. And then there's no more questions.